stated by various contributors to Talk Shit Radio and its radio programs are not to be considered as or endorsed by Kennedy Studios Incorporated. Visitors are urged to use their own discretion to draw their own conclusions. All information, products, services, and use of this website is for entertainment purposes only and personal use only. Talk Shit Radio Network does not confirm nor deny the validity or accuracy of the information contained within the website or broadcast. Any services or products provided by Talk Shit Radio Network and its host contributors should be used solely for entertainment purposes only.
This is Tony. You're listening to Talk Shit Radio.
I have been out on the streets every day except for yesterday.
Okay.
What the media is being...
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
Hey, this is Lewis.
And this is Tony.
And you're listening to Talk Shit Radio.
Hello, my name is Michael Minardi. I'm a board member at Normal of Florida, and we support your vote yes on Amendment 2. Why? Because Amendment 2 will help so many thousands of Americans in the state of Florida. There's already a report that over 400,000 people would already qualify with their illnesses for the medical use of cannabis. It is important that people are allowed to use cannabis or have the ability to choose the medical use of cannabis over prescription medications. This isn't about giving it to the kids. This isn't about legalization. What this is about is adults between their doctor deciding whether or not cannabis is a reasonable option for their illness, whether or not it's a safe option for their illness, and whether or not they have the ability to use cannabis for their illness.
Nardi Law. 772.
Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, auto pay, and paperless billing and other restrictions apply. If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Only Dish brings you the best in entertainment for less than $20 a month. Cut the cable and don't get directed. Switch to Dish because at just $19.99, Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. It's so simple. The same channels cost less with Dish. So since you can't see the difference, don't pay the difference. Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Get premium movie channels free for 3 months, starting at just $19.99. Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. Call now to save with Dish. Dial 1-800-518-1300. That's 1-800-518-1300. The same channels for less than $20 a month. Dish. Call 1-800-518-1300 for details.
You're struggling with your mortgage. You think about it. You don't do anything but think about it.
What are we going to do if we lose the house? Where are we going to go?
At work.
I can't let anybody find out. I'm so embarrassed.
At dinner.
How can I tell the kids? It's going to wreck their lives.
And at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get through this. What's going to happen to us?
It's time to stop thinking. It's time to start dialing. Call 1-888-995-HOPE for a free government program that offers expert one-on-one advice about your mortgage options.
I'm all alone.
No, you're not. We've helped over 1 million homeowners, and we want to help you. And now there are more ways to help. Call 1-888-995-HOPE or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov, brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Talk Shit Radio. I'm wondering why I can't hear anything. Hey now I can hear shit. Good morning, everyone. How are we this morning? It is a lovely Tuesday morning. It's 57 degrees out, 68 in the studio. I love that temperature. Today we've got a great show lined up for you. I've got Haydon Fauke
And I do hope, once again, I am saying his name right, because I will feel like shit if I'm, for the last week or so, week and a half, I've been pronouncing it wrong. Excuse me. I am the only one in the studio right now. Maria had to go pick up Tony from the dock. Chrissy's probably still sick. But yeah, bringing you talk shit. But I do have to throw up some music real quick. I got a few things outside the studio that I got to take care of. So give me about 10 minutes, folks. I'll be right back. I'm going to play a little Genesis from the album Abacab, and just bear with me. Give me about 10 minutes, and I'll be right back in the studio. So thanks. Helps if I turn the volume up. There we go. All right, give me 10 minutes. I'll be right back. I promise. Hey, we're back. Sorry about that. It's a Monday morning. All right, I'm in the studio by myself, and I was pushing the wrong buttons. I know we had a bit of a dead spot there for a little bit, but I do apologize. Oh, and it's not a Monday morning. I know. Feels like it though. Excuse me. I try to clear my throat before I come on the studio or come in the studio for you guys, but never works. So I've got the links to our live show up on the Facebook page. We've also got a link to our guest appearance today, and again, as you all know, special guest Haydon Fauke coming to the studio, say about 8:30, right after we get back from our first break. We'll have excuse me, damn it. Sorry, I apologize about that. We'll have Haydon in the studio. Meanwhile, we have what's interesting. Who is Ebola's patient zero? Toddler was the first victim. Before Ebola ravaged West Africa, before the deaths and global fears, Ebola struck a 2-year-old named Emily Ayumawa from Guyana, from the Guinea rainforest, from a small little village. I do have some audio, look at that. So let's bring this up and see what it says. What do you say? Not that you guys have much choice, but let's take a peek-see here and see what we got for audio for this. Now, they're saying it was a 2-year-old, which that's scary because a 2-year-old can't fight off a disease like that. But what amazes me is that nurse. She's cured already. So.
Mili Andu is a tiny village in southern Guinea, virtually unheard of until it became ground zero of the current Ebola outbreak. Researchers from the New England Journal of Medicine believe 2-year-old Emile Uamono was the first to contract the disease almost a year ago. Emile died December 6, and soon after, Ebola claimed the lives of his mother, sister, grandmother, and others. UNICEF recently visited the village and spoke with Emile's father.
Before my children Emile and Philomene died, they loved to play with the ball. My wife liked to carry the baby on her back.
For Mili Andu, according to the New England Journal of Medicine, the village midwife passed the illness on to her family members and a healthcare worker caring for her in another village. That healthcare worker was treated in a Macenta hospital. The doctor who treated her contracted the disease and passed it on to his brothers in Kisadugo. They all died. The pattern continued, and now more than 10,000 people have contracted Ebola. UNICEF says Mili Andu has now been Ebola-free for several months, but the trauma the disease left is indisputable.
We noticed that with this crisis, which is almost a humanitarian catastrophe, people flee their villages and abandon their families and their children. They reject the infected children and the other infected family members. That's why UNICEF's response ranges from direct support of the children to accompanying the family to avoid stigmatization and facilitate reintegration.
It's a challenge that many communities affected by the deadly virus will face, both eradicating the disease and picking up the pieces once it's gone.
Very, very scary stuff right there. To see the map that they showed, and I'll put a link to this up on the Facebook page, just to look at the map that it showed, that it covered, and I mean, you know, in reality, I don't want to sound like a douchebag. I don't want to sound like, you know, some self-righteous son of a bitch. We got to stop letting these people in the country, period. We just got to ban international travel right now to Ebola-stricken countries. I mean, I know I don't want it. I know I don't want my wife to get it. She's sick as a dog as it is. I don't want my daughters to get it. You know, I mean, if we don't do something now, it's going to just wipe out hundreds of millions of people. It's already wiped out a lot of people. So we don't do something now, then this is going to be that deadly plague that the preppers were talking about. So, river of molten rock inches towards homes. This is going on in Hawaii. This is pretty wicked. I've been keeping track on this because I love geology. I love science. And you put those together, and what do you got? A freaking volcano. And to me, that's cool. Even as destructful as they are, it's an amazing thing. Absolutely amazing thing. Again, I'd like to welcome everybody to the show. Bear with me, folks. I am the only one in the studio this morning. So we will bring you talk shit the best we can. So here's a little audio on the volcano.
Kilauea volcano flow engulfed a cemetery, and now residents of Hawaii's Big Island hope it doesn't kill off a town. Civil defense authorities reported the flow moving 10 to 15 yards per hour, heading toward Pahoa, population 950.
It's burning through thick brush, uluhe fern, a lot of smoke coming off the front, a lot of crappy noises, methane explosions are going on, so it's a noisy situation out there just from all the burning vegetation.
The lava is swallowing up fences as it moves inch by inch toward Pahoa, where the townspeople have been placed on an evacuation advisory. The lava is now chest high in some places, crisscrossed with ribbons of incandescent cracks. Geologists explain this dark gray mass inflates as still more lava accumulates beneath the flow's upper crust. Hawaii's Governor Neil Abercrombie signed a request asking for a presidential disaster declaration and federal aid.
As it gets closer, the key is communication with the community, keeping people informed, and everybody continue to work around the clock really hard just to minimize as much as possible the impact on the people of Lower Puna.
This lava flow is expected to displace 900 school children in the greater area. Some residents tell us while the lava won't necessarily hit their homes or businesses, they fear they will be cut off. To combat this, Hawaii County has built alternate gravel roads around the expected path of lava. But getting around this lava may be so difficult, Pahoa's Bay Clinic is prepared to dispatch a mobile unit on the other side of the flow. People downwind from the smoke, especially residents with respiratory problems, have been told to take precautions and head indoors. For now, there's no end in sight to this gray and orange advance. As the Hawaiian Volcano Observatory says, Kilauea is still erupting at its summit on the eastern side of the volcano. For this Hawaiian community, Kilauea represents the ultimate dangerous beauty.
That is absolutely amazing. Again, I'll put this link up on the Facebook page because that's amazing. As destructive they are, as destructive as volcanoes are, the beauty is just unbelievably astounding. When you see this video, you're going to be pretty impressed, I think, anyway. I like it. I mean, not that, it's a shame, don't get me wrong, it's tragedy. But just the power and the beauty of the volcano is amazing. Doesn't look like Hawaii's going to fear these volcanoes. They're just going to adapt, what can you do? All right, so let's see. Months later, body found in sunken ferry. What's that? That looks interesting. So far, stream looks good. Oh. Seoul ferry disaster. 6 months of pain. This is the Seoul, Korea ferry disaster. 6 months after a passenger ferry sank off the coast of South Korea, a victim's body was discovered inside the wreckage on Tuesday. The body was found on the 4th floor in the woman's bathroom, located in the center of the sunken Seoul ferry, according to the South Korean Joint Task Force in charge of the search. The body has not been retrieved yet, and it is unclear whether the victim is male or female. 9 victims remain missing after the ferry sank on April 15th, killing at least 295 passengers. The underwater search has continued in the months following, and the disaster deepening depending on weather conditions. Excuse me. Officials have said they will not stop the search operations unless families wish otherwise. But questions have swirled over what could happen to the search as winter approaches. The Yonhap news agency in South Korea reported that it has been 102 days since the last body was recovered from the ferry. The ferry sank 195 days ago. This disaster caused widespread outrage in the country over lax safety standards and the failure to rescue more people as the ship foundered. You know, I find that very, very disturbing because, good morning, old wise man. It's very, 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 very awesome to see that you made it to the show this morning. Glad to have you here. I find that extremely disturbing because, I mean, the safety standards of everything they do in some of these Korean countries and Chinese countries and Asians, for the most part, I've noticed, they're the dumbest smart people I've ever seen in my life. They're extremely intelligent, but have no clue as to go about life, I guess. I don't know. Every time I see one of these dumb videos of people getting hurt or something getting screwed up, it's some weird Asian. And I mean, if you just go on, don't mind me, I'm watching a little advertisement from Anthony Bourdain. I love that damn show. That dude eats some weird shit. Anyway, you look at any of the disasters that have gone on in some of those Korean countries and Asian countries, it's just, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It looks like just pure, what's the word I'm looking for? Irresponsibility. And there's another word that I'm trying to use, but I can't think of it right now. And it just shows that they were just completely and utterly irresponsible about safety and about anything else that they've done. So, you know, it just goes to show, you know, what a great country we do live in, and in the same aspect, what a screwed up country this is. So, let's see. School shooter's cousin forgives him. This is that latest shooting that went on in the school systems, and I think this was incredibly disturbing after everything that was going on. So we have CNN. How does a 14-year-old high school student shot in the face and told he can never play football again feel about his attacker? Forgiving. In a tweet he sent from the hospital, Nate Hatch says he forgives his cousin, the shooter, who opened fire at Marysville Pitchuck High School in Washington on Friday. Two students, Zoe Glasso and Gia Serrano, were killed. Two others, in addition to Nate, are still hospitalized. The shooter, Jalen Freiberg, took his own life. I love you and I forgive you, Jalen, rest in peace, Nate tweeted. Man, I just got the chills. I don't know if I could forgive somebody for something like that. That's tough, man. It takes a big person to be able to do that. I gotta be honest with you. It takes a huge person to be able to do that. So, man, he's a bigger man than I am, and he's 14 years old. I'll tell you that, because I would be full of rage. And for those of you that know me, and you're welcome, old wise man. For those of you that know me and have known me for years, you know that I'm a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Rageful person. I bottle it up inside, and then all of a sudden it explodes. And, you know, that's what would happen in this case. I don't think I could forgive this kid. You know, and here is a 14-year-old high school student who's a bigger man than I am, and I got to commend him for that. So, I do have audio on this, so let's see. It says, shooter invited victims to cafeteria. That's the headline, so let's check it out.
From the Snohomish County Sheriff that the shooter, Jalen Freiberg, invited his victims to the lunch table here last Friday before opening fire on them, killing two. This, as we learned, he sent an ominous picture to his ex-girlfriend just before the rampage. A law enforcement source tells CNN Jalen Freiberg sent a selfie of himself holding a gun to an ex-girlfriend just before he walked into Marysville Pilchuck cafeteria Friday and opened fire. It is unclear if it was the same .40 caliber pistol he used in the school attack.
He came up from behind and had a gun in his hand and fired about 6 bullets into the backs of them.
Tonight, investigators are searching Freiberg's computer, scouring his social media, and talking to witnesses, trying to piece together why the popular freshman homecoming prince would turn so violent, targeting his best friends and family. On Twitter, a trail of ominous messages. It breaks me. It actually does. I know it seems like I'm sweating it off, but I'm not, and I never will be able to. His most recent tweet just a day before the attack, "It won't last. It'll never last." Sources say Freiberg may have acted out following a family dispute.
Jalen pulled out a gun and shot his friends, his cousins.
Why do you think he did that?
Him and one of his cousins got into a fight a few weeks ago over his ex-girlfriend.
Breaking overnight, a second victim, Gia Soriano, died from her shooting injuries. Her doctor read a family statement outside the hospital.
Gia is our beautiful daughter, and words cannot express how much we will miss her.
The first victim, students...
That gives me a shriek. We heard it yesterday. Oh my God, man, that gave me a shriek, because this is a beautiful young girl, about the age of my girls, and yeah, this is a little hard to watch for me.
Zoe Galasso was remembered for her bright smile and sense of humor. Heartbroken students are struggling to cope with the loss.
I'm just in a lot of shock. I never thought that I would lose my best friend at such a young age.
Witnesses say the death toll could have been higher had first-year social studies teacher Megan Silberberger not stepped in. Witnesses say she ran toward the gunfire and confronted the shooter just before he shot and killed himself.
She grabs his arm, a hand on hand. It happens in seconds.
That's scary, and like I said, that disturbs me, because I got girls, and one's of that age. She's just getting ready to go into high school, and who knows. So I just sent a message over to Old Wise Man, and I said, if 2 passes, you should come to Florida. Laugh out loud. And he says at this point anywhere is better than here, and then he's got bad news. The hospital doctor told me that I maybe have 2 weeks left. You just gave me a shriek down my spine, dude. I don't even know what to say about that. Apparently, damn it. Wow. I don't even know what to say. That's, wow. They won't give me my meds anymore. Only pain pills and oxygen. I saw that they did that, I saw that they put you on that one program, which, here in Florida, it's hospice. Good morning, Silent Mish. I'm talking to Old Wise Man, and apparently the doctor said he's got about 2 weeks, if that. It's comfort care. That's what it is. Comfort care is like hospice. That's what he's on right now. I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say. I'm at a loss for words. Not even a DNR. Do not resuscitate. Well, my prayers are with you, and I'm not a praying person, but I will definitely do some praying. Jesus. Well, I'm going to make a cry out to my listeners. Old Wise Man needs help. He needs to be brought to a state where he can get real medical treatment. Unfortunately, the only way I see that happening is 2 states, because it's the only 2 that I know of that have real medical facilities. One up in New York, because you have institutional medical facilities like Brookhaven, which is a school, and then down here in Florida, which is just nothing but hospitals and doctors, and it's what they do. I'm going to make a few phone calls today, old wise man, and see what I can do about getting you the hell out of there and getting you down here at least. At least I know I can get you into a place where they'll take care of you and give you meds, you know. And at least we know we're close to what you really need. So, pulmonary embolism and pneumonia. Oh, man. Damn it. Go figure. I don't even know what to say. I'm going to put on a song real quick. I'll be right back. Or a commercial. I'll be right back.
Are you worried about losing your home to foreclosure? If you've been threatened with foreclosure or received legal papers from your bank, you have approximately 30 days to respond. If you do not respond, you could lose your home. You have rights. Act now to protect your rights. You can stay in your home. Many times you can even modify your loan. The bottom line is you can get past this, but you must act right now. If you've been served by your bank and you're worried about losing your home to foreclosure, now is the time to fight back and save your home. Time is limited, so call the professionals at National Foreclosure Defense right now.
800-932-4102. 800-932-4102. 800-932-4102. 800-932-4102. That number again is 800-932-4102.
If you or someone you love suffers from drug addiction, now is the time to utilize your private health insurance PPO plan. If eligible, receive up to $30,000 or more in substance abuse benefits with low or no out-of-pocket cost. We are the National Treatment Network, the premier drug and alcohol treatment referral service operating 24/7. We help connect you with facilities nationwide that accepts PPO private health insurance for substance abuse. If you have PPO substance abuse coverage and you need immediate admittance to a medical detox or residential rehab treatment center, call us now. Call our live referral helpline today. The call is free. This program is not available to Medicare or Medicaid customers.
Call 800-296-0906. 800-296-0906. 800-296-0906. That's 800-296-0906.
Are you disabled? Has your disability insurance company wrongfully denied paying your claim for benefits? Or maybe you didn't even know you had a long-term disability insurance policy through your employer. The smartest thing you can do right now is call the Disability Group for help. Don't try to take on the insurance companies alone. Listen to how one phone call to the Disability Group has helped people just like you.
They were on my team. They were on my side. If anybody in my family needed, help, I would refer them to the Disability Group.
And you pay nothing unless you win your case and receive your benefits. The Disability Group will put you in touch with a nationally recognized and experienced team who will fight for your rights. Call the Disability Group right now for a free, no-obligation consultation. Remember, the call is free and could help you secure thousands of dollars a month in benefits. Dial 800-448-8604. That's 800-448-8604. Call 800-448-8604. Call now.
Hey, we're back. Sorry about that. I had to take a quick message real quick. Apparently, we have a 100-year-old notebook found in the ice. Interesting. 100-year-old notebook from Scott's last Antarctic expedition found frozen in the ice. Explorer Robert Falcon Scott died in 1912 while crossing the Antarctica, but his story lives on in artifacts that continue to be discovered on the frozen continent at the bottom of the world. The most recent find, a century-old photographer's notebook located in the ice at one of Scott's expedition bases in Antarctica. The notebook belonged to George Murray Levick, a surgeon and photographer who was part of Scott's 1910-13 expedition. It contains pencil notes, and photos he took in 1911 at Cape Adair. It's an exciting find, said Nigel Weston. Yeah, I would imagine so. Holy shit, man. That's pretty awesome. The director of the Antarctic Heritage Trust, the notebook is a missing part of the official expedition record. After spending several years conserving Scott's last expedition, building and collecting, we are delighted to still be finding new artifacts. Wow. The notebook was found back in January 2013 at another camp. Another Scott camp, the Cape Evans base. After a summer snow melt around a building exposed it, blah, 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 blah. That's awesome. That's completely awesome. I've got audio, but it's probably not that interesting. Welcome to the show, Johnny. Yeah, I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. It's almost thrown me off here. I don't know what to do. Yeah. I don't know. It sucks that this is the world we live in, that they won't even help them. If I can get him down to Florida within the next 24 to 48 hours, I bet you we could save his freaking life, or at least extend it. Mish, what do you think? Johnny, got any trucks going through that way, coming down this way? I don't think he'd make the trip. Kurdish fighters ready to enter Kobani. Send bombs. That'll stop them. ISIS now controls key city. Here's another hint. Said big bombs. British hostage in ISIS video. Here's a last and final hint. Send nukes. God, I'm just I could feel my blood pressure going up and up and up and up and up. And I just want to go smack somebody at that hospital. Yeah. I would need to fly with oxygen available for the trip. Yeah, I know. That's what's got me all screwed up here. I don't know what the hell to do, buddy. Let's see. Where else? I'm going to get off CNN because I don't like what I'm reading here. No, I know, a wise man, and he's saying, and maybe even a medical support staff for the trip. Way too much to ask or even expect. It's not too much to ask. It's called humanity. People helping people. It's what should be done. You would think they had some kind of compassion in the hospital for you, and at least lie to you and tell you, oh, yep, everything's going to be okay. Try to be some kind of compassionate, but nope, you're dead. You're bugging us and that kind of shit. It's disgusting. Pisses me off, and I really can't freaking stand it. And I feel helpless and don't know what to do. And I feel like I hesitated and waited too long to do something, and now I got all these things going through my head. So I did see Chrissy popped into the chat room there. That was Silent Mish logged into Chrissy's account. Yeah, I know they lie about mostly everything. Tony's coming back early today, so he should be here when Haydon gets here. And like I said, we're only about 15, 20 minutes from their arrival. So I'll go ahead and I'll keep the show going until they get here. Excuse me. And then we're going to take a little break. And we're going to see what we can do about getting him on and talking to Haydon and having him explain to us the benefits of cannabis and all of that. What is RSO donations? Is this what happens when I stop getting my RSO donations? I don't know what that is. Do you know what RSO donations are? RSO. Denise Shoemaker. So sorry. Dr. Hiccup, yeah. What is she sorry about? Oh, okay. Scared me, dude. Don't you tell me you guys weren't coming. Yeah, I know. This is I'm at a loss for words, man. I don't even know what to say. It's kind of I got my mind elsewhere right now. I'm sorry, folks. I am sorry. Ah, I see. RSO, babe. Very simple. Rick Simpson Oil. I see it, Denise. Thank you, Dr. Hiccup. Yeah, back to the RSO. Yeah, makes sense. Sure. Yeah. It's like WTF. What the frig? And HMU, hit me up. What are we talking about? Medical cannabis and the oils. RSO. Rick Simpson Oil. Again, I say, well, at least, oh, wise man, we're going to try and make you as happy as possible over the next couple of days. And I got one last resort. I'm going to try and pull a monkey out of my butt here. And I'm going to get a hold of a buddy of mine. His on-air name is Henry the Hitman. He is he's a gangster that I know. He's got connections all over the country. And I'm going to see what I can do through him about getting you here as quick as possible. At least here I know where I can take you to get you real help. I mean, right, babe? We'll take him down to Moffett for that, or not Moffett, Morton Plant Meese down to Tampa General, or shit, I'll take him over to Spring Hill Regional, to the hospital. I don't know, man. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know anymore, and I don't understand this world anymore, and it really makes me want to dig a hole in the ground, crawl into it, and stick an antenna out so I can... yeah. No, it's any kind of favor like that, old wise man, is no, I ain't worried about shit like that. What? Is that... That's Ricky. That's my car sitting in my driveway. That's weird. Ricky boy, that's Ricky. Ricky boy, I guess he's having the this thing checked out, and it's the exact same car of my Magnum. Now Ricky is the kid that went off to the Merchant Marines, and yeah, oh wise man, it is hard because it was when my dad passed away, it was a sudden thing, you know what I mean? We went up to visit him in hospital, and anybody that I've ever known that's ever passed away, it was a sudden thing. Good morning, Marcy. Don't sweat it. And no, don't even apologize, bro. It's just I feel responsible now because I didn't act fast enough. Who is it? Nice car. They got a Magnum. I love it. So yeah, we're gonna we're gonna take a bit of a break. I do have some guests that just showed up at the studio. I'm looking at them on the cameras that we have outside, and yeah, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. So bear with us, and. We do have Haydon Fauke in the studio, and I'm going to make sure I'm saying his name right, too. So we'll be right back after these messages and a song or two. So going to take an early break so we can come back with Haydon and Dr. Hiccup.
No college degree and mid-career? Make the choice that can make a difference this year with an ITT Technical Institute near you. At ITT Tech, we offer programs of study in fields including information technology, electronics technology, drafting and design, business, criminal justice, nursing, and the growing field of health sciences. And now, ITT Tech is helping reduce the cost of education with a new ITT Tech Opportunity Scholarship. The scholarship can help lower your education costs dramatically. We've always believed pursuing an education is a sound investment. investment. And now, with the ITT Tech Scholarship, education could be in your future. To find out more about the Opportunity Scholarship at ITT Tech for yourself, just call 800-771-0443. That's 800-771-0443. With the ITT Tech Opportunity Scholarship. Now, it's your turn. 800-771-0443. How are we doing? For more information about graduation rates, the median data of students who completed the program, please visit programinfo.itt-tech.edu.
Hey, you're listening to Talk Shit Radio. We'll be right back after a little song. I got Haydon in the studio. We're going to say hello, and we're going to get him in and get settled, so we'll be right back. Sit back, chill out, relax, and listen to some Van Halen.
Lady invited me.
You'll like it. I promise. If I get the button to work.
Kidnapping.
Senorita, I'm in trouble again, and I can't get free.
dee da bomba 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 dee da dee da happy trails to you. Bomba dee da bomba dee da bomba dee da bomba. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and think about sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again. Yeah, you're listening to Talk Shit Radio. We'll be back in a few minutes. I just got to get ready for our special guest, Haydon Fauke, who is in the studio. And, yeah, enjoy a little more Van Halen. We'll be back in a little bit. I'm barely one, gonna buy your ass. Yeah, won't let you pass. Inspiration, girl, you're sensational, and this gets better, yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was really going to be different this time, and it is. This is okay, where do you get your clothes? Yeah, you mean my wife's feet are making tracks in the winter snows. She got a rainbow that touches her shoulder. She be headed where the thunder rolls. Ow, 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 she got that rhythm on the road. Ow, 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 she get crazy, woman get crazy, she can't go. She just looking good. She comes like the secret wind. She's as strong as the mountains, walks tall as a tree. She's been there before, she'll never give in. She'll be gone tomorrow like the silent breeze. Ow, 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 she got rhythm, got that rhythm of the road. Ow, 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 she get crazy, she can't go. But she just looking good. You know that sometimes you got to run. You only fly, but you jump the gun. The question is not does love exist, but when she leaves, where she goes. I got the feeling she don't know either. Wait like the wind, watch where she blows. Got that rhythm, that sweet rhythm of the road. She get crazy, woman get crazy if she can't go. I'm looking good. Oh, yes.
Hey, you're listening to Talk Shit Radio. We've got Haydon and everyone's in the studio. Sorry about that, old wise man. We have Haydon in the studio. We're just trying to gear up, get ready, get everybody in the studio, get settled so we can get in here and we could talk some shit. We have an incredible story coming up for you guys. I hope you enjoy it. Just bear with me. Give me about 2 more minutes and we'll be right back in. righty, everyone. I do apologize for the break there. I know it was unexpected and a long one. Come on in, Haydon. Have a seat. We are bringing Haydon and Dr. Hiccup into the studio. I call her Dr. Hiccup, but I hope everybody can still hear me. Yeah, all right. Headphones, Denise, are hanging right down. If you look right down there. Oh, yep, there they are. This way you can hear everything that's going on. Yeah, I'm not sure how Tony's got that there. So yeah, welcome to the show, everyone. It's 10/28/2014. We're at 8:30 in the morning. As promised, we would have Haydon and Dr. Hiccup in the studio. We're just slowly coming into it now. But I want to welcome our two guests here. And let's see. Headphones are right there, buddy. Everybody hear me okay? All right. And mics are up. So, oh, yeah, I forgot about the computer being off and all of that. It's the big round one. There's a big round button and there's a little round button down there. Just bear with us, everyone. You can move that, Hayden. It'll go where it wants. Yeah, just give it a tug. Yep. Oh, no, not like that.
Not like that. All right, I'll scoot up to it. There we go.
All right, so first off, I got to properly welcome you guys to the studio. A little applause there. I want to introduce Haydon. Haydon, have I been saying your name right? Is it Haydon Fauke?
It's actually Fauke. But
Fauke.
It could be done a lot of different ways.
So I've been butchering the heck out of it all week long, and I do apologize for that. Did you get that computer up over there? Are you guys having all sorts of problems over there? So, again, Haydon, welcome to the studio. I appreciate you taking the time to come in and talk to everyone.
Thank you, Lou. It's an opportunity for me to kind of educate people beyond maybe what they know about marijuana.
Yeah, and to me, that's my mission, you know, with this whole Amendment 2 thing that's going on. And then you have those naysayers out there that are saying vote no on 2, which it's not vote no on 2. It never has been vote no on 2. It never will be vote no on 2. As a matter of fact, I actually got a phone call from the vote no on 2 people. And we won't mention any names, but they wanted some airtime. And I said the only way that I would give them airtime is if we had who they wanted to talk about on the other end. And that was Mr. Morgan. So, yeah, wasn't going to happen. So it was appalling to me that they were actually out there spreading a message, vote no on 2, when knowingly, you know, the damage that would do to this campaign. Haydon, for those of our listeners that don't know your situation and know about you, could you explain a little to them and just, you know, tell them your situation?
Sure. I'm a white male. I'm going to be 76 in December.
Which is amazing. You look great.
I still feel real good. And back, I guess, about 94, I was determined to have a irregular protein at the time, and they called it MGUS. I could have outlived it. It went on into smoldering multiple myeloma, and then on into full-blown multiple myeloma. That's a blood cancer. It's a non-curable cancer at present. I probably got it by being around some of the hydrocarbons and some of the stuff that I went into. I was an industrial salesman for 35 years. So I've been around phosgene and cyanide, and benzene is the one that does cause multiple myeloma, they've determined. But I needed to start treating it when it went from stage 1 to stage 2. And about 6.5 years ago, I was fortunate enough to be able to get into a large cancer institute research center in Tampa. Has about 4,000 employees. And other people who are fighting cancer are doing it on their own, but you can't get into a clinical trial study unless you're in pretty good health otherwise. Fortunately, I was. And so I began treating it with, the first chemo round was with 3 different ingredients, and I didn't last in that round. And it killed a lot of the cancer very quickly. But if it stabilizes or goes down, then you've got to get out of the study. So I was removed from that study and got into a second study that used a drug that got it down enough that I could get a stem cell transplant in a third study. But in that second study, one of the chemo drugs gives you neuropathy. Neuropathy is something that it's like a circuit in your legs that breaks up, and so you get tremendous pain back up through your legs. Some people get it in their hands as well. And that's probably the first thing that they actually started researching marijuana for was neuropathy.
Neuropathy. Okay.
And people get it from diabetes. It's a very common thing that people have. There's not much out there that helps it that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
But it certainly helps me, and apparently it helps a lot of other people in the other 23 states that are allowed to administer it for that use.
Yeah.
Beyond that, then they got to a point where they said, well, we got enough of your cancer out of you that we'll go ahead and give you a stem cell transplant. And this is where they harvest the stem cells out of you. They circulate your blood for about 6 times. They pull the cells out, put them in another machine, picks out the little baby ones that are purple, and they freeze those in a cryogenic situation for a couple of weeks. They boost up your immune system to do that, but where your stem cells are produced is in your bone marrow, and the area there gets occupied by cancer cells and pushes out the growth area for the good cells. And so without the stem cells, which don't know at that time if they're going to be a red, a white, or a platelet, but without those, you don't have any life. So at that point then, they put you in the hospital. They go in and they totally kill your immune system down to 0. Mm-hmm. You're very vulnerable at that time to catch anything. And it's almost like a clean room environment living there in the hospital. And they inject your stem cells that they took out of you, which actually will have a few cancer cells in them unless you could get it from like a twin that didn't have any cancer at all. So when those go back in, the average life on somebody sustaining before they go back on chemo again or some way to cure their cancer is about 3 years. Mine didn't last but for 2 years. But in one of the qualifications to even have a study like that done on you, because they're expensive and they don't want you falling dead right in the middle of it.
Yeah, because then they don't get paid.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's probably part of it. But anyway, the situation is such that they did a pulmonary workup on me. And, of course, everybody always says, well, marijuana will affect your lungs and you'll do this and do that and all this other stuff. I grew up in the day when everybody smoked. Every bar or every place you were in, didn't matter, just was a big maze of smoke. Well, I didn't smoke personally because I had a great aunt that told me it burned all the little hairs up my lungs and they would never grow back. And so for some reason I accepted that, which I'm very glad she told me that story. But my dad smoked, my brother smoked, and all my friends smoked. So I had a lot of secondhand smoke. And during that time also, I used a little marijuana, not a lot, but when I got to that pulmonary workup, they said my lungs were like a teenager. Now, if all of this marijuana had done anything to them, well, it certainly didn't show up.
Yeah,
my understanding,
it was so damaging, right?
No, my understanding of marijuana is that it does have an anti-cancer agent in it. In the studies they've done, they did a big one in Italy, and 25% of the people who smoke cigarettes got cancer. Only 3% of that study group got cancer if they had smoked marijuana at the same time they had smoked cigarettes. And nobody in the study group that just smoked marijuana, somebody like me, got anything at all. So there's never been a lung problem that I've ever heard of associated with marijuana.
Yeah, I've never read, and I've been, within the last year, of doing all of this, I've been doing a lot of research, a lot of reading. I've never heard of any ill effects.
Yeah.
Anything.
One of the things I hear brought up is that, we've already got this medical marijuana approved. Well, it's not going to do me any good. It might do me some good to take it something else, some other types of marijuana. But,
right. You're talking about the low CBD.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's, I don't want to get into how the cannabinoid receptor system works, but we're fortunate that we as humans, and other animals do too, fish even, and marijuana seems to be the only plant so far that they've found. They think carrots and broccoli might be associated with some of this system, but when you take these 80 cannabinoids or cannabinoids, but anyway, when you take these things into your system, they feed through your circulatory system, and part of them feed to your brain, and part of them feed your immune system. So for whatever reason, it's magic, but it works. So that's the reason that I do it. And one of my experiences in the hospital was that you lose your appetite for about, at least 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And your taste buds just aren't there.
You just don't want to eat, or you just don't have the taste to eat?
You just don't have the taste. I had to take 19 pills a day when I was there, and I couldn't even get them down hardly with water. So what I ended up doing was asking for something that would be an appetite stimulant. And according to the hospital that I was in, and this is a big major hospital, those things don't work. There's about 6 of them out there on the market. They all claim to have some kind of association with the THC that's in marijuana. It's a fake or a synthetic type of thing, and they just don't work.
Yeah.
One of them is called Marinol, and it would cost me $1,200 to buy it, and why would I want to take something that doesn't work? The hospital told me it didn't work, and it was highly restricted, and all of this other.
And my thing with Marinol is it's a synthetic, and anything that to me says synthetic is fake.
Yeah,
it's fake.
And, the pain management guys say, "Oh yeah, but we're coming with a new one and all of that." But why would you want to do that when you can get something that that works?
Absolutely, it's proven.
Yep. So I'm now in my 4th study. I started this study back, and they were only going to have me be in it for 48 doses. I'm going to take my 246th dose today.
Wow.
And of the people that are in, and that drug has that drug has 32 different side effects to it. Now, I don't take anything from any pharmaceutical at all.
Good for you.
And I don't drink any alcohol. I don't use a bunch of added salt. I don't use any added sugar. Don't use caffeine. And I try to eat the right fruits and vegetables and grains and nuts. And I exercise 3 times a week at a gym. And I still walk 3 days a week. So I'm trying to do some things on top of what marijuana might do for me. But I know marijuana keeps me from doing what happens to most people who get cancer. They either get some type of treatment where it's either chemotherapy or it's radiation. And as a result, they're fighting the drug effects on top of the chemo effect. So it's a doubled up dosage of side effects. In the case of where I am, there's 450 of us that are guinea pigs. And of those 450, 80% of them get a chill-out drug because they're mentally not able to cope with the problems they have from associated with the cancer situation.
Yeah.
And these are people who...
And you're meaning not as much physical, but as much physical as mental problems that come with it.
The mental problems, they're giving 80% of these people a drug.
Wow.
That's anxiety, stress, depression, PTSD, panic attacks, and it goes on and on and on. Now, these are drugs like Xanax and Valium and Ativan and Prozac and Paxil and Zoloft, and it goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
Last 2 years ago, in Florida alone, there were 1,100 people died from Xanax and Valium. Now, What does that tell us?
It's poison.
How many more? Yeah, it is. They overdose on those things.
Yes.
With marijuana, if you overdose, I don't care. I could sit here and get as much down me day after day after day after day if I wanted to, and it wouldn't kill me.
Nope.
And I wouldn't overdose.
Make you sleep damn good.
I'd sleep well. That'd be right. And
Yep.
I'd be awful hungry.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. Yeah, I've looked for cases to where somebody's overdosed on marijuana purposely. You ain't finding it because they don't exist.
No.
They just don't exist.
Now, those same 450 guinea pigs, 50% of them are getting a pain pill. They're getting oxys and roxys and Percocet and Vicodin and on and on and on. Well, I think the numbers are like 1,500 ended up dying with oxys and roxys, and something like 400 with Percocet. Alcohol you should never use.
No.
That's
Yeah.
My immune system is shot anyway.
Yeah.
But if I were to take my first alcoholic beverage, it would reduce my immune system now by another 50%. Why would I want to do that?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. More people die from alcohol related disease. Never mind the DUI deaths and the people that get killed by DUI drivers, just alcohol related disease.
Right.
So
That's right.
I mean, it's disgusting.
Yeah. But I'll tell you a little about what it does for me anyway, because other people I'm sure have similar but perhaps different reactions to it.
Right.
But
and I know, and I also know, I don't mean to interrupt you. I want everybody to keep in mind, it may not be you that we're talking specifically to. We may be talking to you because you know somebody who's going through or gone through the same thing that Haydon is going through and gone through. And the whole point of bringing him on the show today was to enlighten people. Okay, here's a 76-year-old man, 76, right?
Right.
76-year-old man who is still alive because of cannabis. So I want everybody to think of that as he's talking and think about the people that you know that would benefit. Go ahead, Haydon.
Let me go back to the first time I used it. And believe me, I don't think that people ought to use it before they're age 24. Why? Because the science medical industry says that you might still be developing your IQ and you might lose as much as 8 points. Well, there's a point at where somebody's going to have to deal with the issue of, do I sacrifice 8 points and stay and keep my child alive? And that'll have to be their decision at that time.
Yeah.
One should never drive under the influence of it, ever.
Still under the influence.
That's just being stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't transport it around or keep it in your pocket or do all the dumb things that would cause you to get in trouble with it. And believe me, I don't think anybody has a right to tell us that we can't use it. It's like, it's a plant.
Absolutely.
It's a weed. It grows out there wild around the world, and it always has been. It's the most sustaining plant. It's been revered as the highest medical use plant for 10,000 years. It's in tombs and all this other stuff. So I think it personally infringes on my rights to have anybody tell me that I can't use one plant in the world for my beneficial medical condition. And it goes right along with the rights that people have had in the past, where you had to deal with slavery and women's suffrage and desegregation and whatever.
It's just another form of government interference.
For absolutely no reason.
Right.
I don't think anybody can tell me who has the right and who has been designated the king of marijuana use. Yeah. There is no person. There is absolutely no person out there that ever had the right to do it. So, back on me using it early, 32, at that point in time, I was young. I was just in my early 30s, and we had parties, friends, and I still today, that's my biggest thing in life, is to have parties with friends. But we used to get some marijuana, and everybody would start rolling it at a party, and somebody would bring a tape, a reel-to-reel tape that back then that's how you had to get your party music, would take it off of records and put it on a reel. And then we'd cook hamburgers and hot dogs, and we might drink a little bit of sangria wine with a splash of 7-Up in it or something,
or
maybe maybe a beer. But it was a fun evening, and by the time the evening wore off, everybody went home. They were stone cold sober to drive. That was the time, the culture.
Yeah.
So my experiences, I've used it with DEA agents. I've used it with judges, lawyers, almost pilots, all sorts of, everybody that you could imagine, a general.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's wicked.
I've been around, and I still use it today with some people who are very knowledgeable, smart people, but they have their own issues, and their own reasons for doing it.
Yep.
But for me, it back in those days, we knew what it did for us with the use of the 5 senses. It heightens your 5 senses. Now, why does it do that? Because that cannabinoid system allows us to do that, There's a lot of magic in there that they don't understand, though. But they do know.
Agree.
Yeah. They do know a lot more than they will tell you about knowing it, and they know all the benefits that go along with it. There's something like, 8 or 9 more senses that we have that artistic kids will have. You'll see some of theirs that they have. But I believe that marijuana will give you the ability to use some of those senses. I think there's 2 more that I can use, not all the time, but it's a nice thing to be able to do that.
Yes.
But what does it do for me? I use it for primary reason is being my appetite. If I didn't eat, I'd have all these more problems.
Absolutely.
So I have to stimulate my appetite with something. It is by far the very best thing out there, and depending upon how much you use, you will feel like your throat is like a vacuum cleaner, and anything that you can get near to throw down it will happen.
Absolutely.
And now it's called the munchies.
Yeah, I was going to say, and depending on the strand, that all depends on the intensity of the munchies.
That's right. And are the munchies bad? Well, you'd think that if everybody, on the average, they say you put down another 600 calories a day. But the people who use marijuana have smaller waist than those who don't. What it doesn't allow the collages to store belly fat. That's just one of the things it does. I can't tell you how it does, but it does. All people who use marijuana have slimmer waist. They've done big studies on this. Doesn't matter.
I got just one thing to say. Johnny, what happened to your belly?
Well, remember now, you got to exercise a little along the way. And,
well, see, that's the funny part is Johnny's an exercise fanatic. So,
okay.
That's why I had to throw that out there and break his chops. Oh, God.
Probably the best next thing it does for me is that it gives me a total sense of well-being. If I had a reason, I could come up with a dozen reasons beyond just getting old and having cancer that you could sit around and you could be in misery the whole time. I'm never anything but happy.
It just doesn't matter. Yeah.
Whatever it is, bring it on, and I'll make something good happen out of it. Now,
that's my attitude, Haydon. I'll be honest with you. It doesn't matter if the world's going to hell around me, my life's going to hell. It doesn't matter. I'm alive. I woke up this morning. I'm breathing, and my medication's available.
My feeling about myself mentally is that, I don't think I'm over 35. I think I stopped aging mentally. Now, I like the same music, like all the same stuff that I did when I was young, but there's a lot of things I've learned that have given me wisdom and experience. But I think that marijuana helps that. I think it keeps you young. The people that I'm around, they enjoy their life.
I couldn't agree with you more. I've yet to hear somebody speak of it that way, and honestly, I couldn't agree with you more because I feel I'm 42 years old. I'm not afraid to say it. I feel like I'm 20 sometimes. I still feel like I'm 20 years old sometimes, that I could still go out there and play Matchbox cars with the kids and grab the G.I. Joe figures and set up a whole fort. The whole thing. No problem.
Well, if you've ever seen a cat on catnip and you've ever looked at any catnip real close, you'll see a pretty good correlation between the two.
Oh, have we?
Now, I think at times it makes me a lot more creative. I built a couple of office buildings, and I've also built a couple of houses. And the last look over of the plans, I always used to get a little high just to be a little more creative to see if I'd missed anything.
Yep.
But if you look at what, why do novelists, if they get a little, they get a writer's block, man, they just go right through it with a little marijuana.
Yep.
Are any of your artists or musicians or real creative people, they got guys that just sit around and
just smoke and write.
Absolutely. They sit around in think tanks and see how far they can push their creativity.
It's true. Yeah. I know anytime that I'm sitting around doing something, well, look around you guys. All of this was created on cannabis.
There you go.
And it's all built from stuff that I've had laying around. There's equipment involved, but eventually it gets to the point where you have to use your own creativity. And like you said, you can be very creative.
Yep.
I think it stimulates the mind a lot more than contrary to what people say.
Oh, there are guys who in Sanjay Gupta's weed documentary. Remember one of those guys that was writing? He was painting, and he didn't sell anything for less than $25,000, and he would always get high before he painted. So
which show is this?
It was one of Sanjay Gupta's, I think.
Okay, yep.
The documentary Weed.
Yep. Okay.
One of the things I think it helps me do also, and it helps everybody to focus. It's one of the coolest things about it. And it doesn't matter if you're making love or if you're watching a ball game, you pay real close attention to what's going on.
Gotcha.
And it's for
definitely
for us to enjoy the heightened senses that we get. For somebody who's got MS or ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, or Alzheimer's, or Parkinson's, for them to be able to focus is a big deal.
Huge.
And you can't imagine the difference it makes in their lives. I have a friend who died from Parkinson, but his finest moments were in the use of marijuana because it helped him talk better. He could focus to the point where he talked better. He could play games that he couldn't play before.
Yep.
And
one of our listeners, Old Wise Man, commented on chat, it enhances the firing process of the synaptic centers and the receptors, allowing for more creativity and concentration.
Yeah. And for those people, it's a God's blessing,
Yeah.
And to deprive them, Alzheimer's people have to go through sundown syndrome every day. There's 450,000 of them here in Florida.
What is that?
Sundown syndrome is where I think they may think it's something to do with their blood sugar, but they get real belligerent.
Oh.
And it's a real problem for their caregiver. And in the other states, they can take a little candy or a little brownie or a little cookie, and they're happy, and they've got an appetite, and their caregiver isn't all stressed out.
Gotcha.
It's called sundown syndrome.
Never heard of that. That's interesting.
Yeah. Another thing I think it's pretty cool for is
I love how he chuckles.
I'm not religious, but I have a great deal of reverence, and I think it goes way beyond a religion that I could belong to. It's an understanding of our time here and the 24 hours that we have to enjoy it. And when you think about it, that's what we have. We have ourselves and we have time.
Yeah.
And those two things, we can control how we use them. And I think it gives me a real appreciation and understanding of what I have. And I am very, very reverent. And in India, they call their ganja wisdom weed.
Yeah.
So it's a good deal.
Well, the Indians been smoking peyote, and they've been smoking weed for how long now? And
let me tell you, all this saber rattling. If we somehow could convey that we're put here to live and enjoy each other and not kill each other, and we're not put here to rape the resources or pollute the planet, and we get down to some common sense solving of problems and issues that you know, the special interests are never going to let us completely go from,
No.
you know, their way of wanting to do things. But
we will never be truly a free country. We will always have, and I'm a red-blooded American, and I'm ashamed to have to say this, but we will always have a dictatorship in this country. Whether people think it's a democracy or not, it is not. Because if the government says, this is what we're going to do, guess what? This is what we're going to do.
yeah. Another thing that helps me, and I think, is I thought my testosterone had to be around 1,000 to 1,100 because I am always up for whatever comes from having a high libido.
Gotcha.
and so I got it taken one time when they did some other blood work on me, and it was 330. Now 330 is even low for a 76-year-old guy.
Mm-hmm.
But why would I want to take anything but like testosterone? Testosterone, let me tell you what that does to you. That's about a $2 billion industry, and it'll jack your PSA level up to where you're more prone to getting prostate cancer. So
I went through some testosterone treatments.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I said to my doctor, I said to my doctor, I'm feeling a little low on energy. He did a low T test, and gave me, wow. Yeah, I stopped taking them.
And right there on the directions, it'll tell you for any of the male enhancement type stuff. Let's just take Cialis.
Mm-hmm.
It'll say right there, no multiple myeloma patients should take this. So, fortunately, I've never had to use anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that because of the marijuana? Might be.
Could be. Yeah, we don't know yet.
No, I am. And if I ever got there, I would want to use something,
Sure.
but I'm not there
Sure.
yet. So.
I love it. I love it. See, right now would be the time that I put up a Viagra commercial.
Those things have all sorts of side effects.
Those
too.
things are horrible. Listen, I tried Viagra once, and the only thing it did for me was make me fuzzy. I couldn't see shit. Everything worked fine. I didn't need to take it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no more for me, thanks.
It's pretty much mental. If you got your head on straight, you can
do anything.
Right.
Let's just say that.
Absolutely. You sure can.
We'll just put it at that. Old wise man is sitting here going, lucky bastard.
Another thing I think it does for me is it allows me to have non-alcohol related incident type of parties.
Yeah.
I'm a party person, and we just don't have a bunch of alcohol related incidents.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who use some light alcohol, but most of my friends are very, very happy guests, and some of them are just like me. They're patients who are using marijuana.
Yeah.
But anyway, why don't you ask me something? I've been doing a lot of talking
That's all
here.
good. That's all good. Let me ask you this, Haydon. Do you think, all right, in your opinion, and I say it every show, I'll say it again today, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. All right. In your opinion, do you think that cannabis can be considered almost like a cure-all? Now, it is not a cure-all. We know that. But it can almost, it has so many applications. Do you think that we can, almost consider it as the miracle drug of the new millennium?
The guys that are running the medical school think that. They've even, I think one that was at Harvard School of Medicine, I think he's retired and is writing a book on that.
Really?
Yeah, they think it'll be the next wonder drug, miracle drug.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely awesome.
It'll have that recognition.
Yeah.
The ones that are really studying it, of course, are the Israelis.
Really?
Their Minister of Health over there thinks it's the answer all to cancer.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we've known, this is what bothers me, we've known for a long time, according to research and according to reading, we've known a long time what it does for cancer, what it does for certain things. And it's just now, and this really, really bothers me, it's just now, here we are, we started back in 2009 to really see cannabis jumping on the scene, and what was it? It was Colorado that led the way, am I correct? And California followed suit?
No, actually Colorado.
Or Washington?
Actually, California's had it out there since 1996.
Okay.
And they allowed you to grow 6 plants. And they're not full-blown total legalization yet, but they will be.
Yeah.
It's coming up on the ballot with Oregon and Hawaii and Alaska, and California will be a year or two out. But
yeah.
I think
Washington.
I think Maine also is going for full legalization.
See, and when you say that, Maine, we have what? New Hampshire, which is a Commonwealth state. We've got Massachusetts, which is a Commonwealth state. Go there. Apply for your card. You can. A Commonwealth state. But here in Florida, okay, we have the highest concentration of sick people in the United States. I've looked at the numbers, but yet we're fighting this. You know,
we're projected to be the number 3 potential user of marijuana in the whole United States. Now, it comes down to simple stuff, and the opposition is going to say, oh yeah, well, we're going to have a pot shop on every corner. The only reason we would do that is that it would necessitate having a pot shop on every corner to meet the needs of the people who used to use alcohol and used to use pharmaceutical drugs. Pharmaceutical drugs are about $300 billion a year industry in the United States.
Legal drug dealing.
And you can find a pot shop. I mean, you can find a drug dealer on every block now. Just look at the retailers, whether it's CVS or Walgreens or Publix or Winn-Dixie or
doesn't
whoever.
matter. Or the little Joe Blows that are popping up all over the place. These little tiny, pharmacies, the soda shop style pharmacies. Yeah, they're popping up all over the place too.
And those people buy their drugs from wholesalers or whoever, and they can mark them up any amount they want. Some of the drugs you go at your local drugstore are marked up as much as 4,000%. There was a big list of them in the paper one day of how much the retailers were marking them up.
And that's sickening.
Yeah,
sickening, because we are feeding poison into our people. And I mean, listen to the commercials that they play about certain drugs, and then the bad stuff that they say, do not take this medicine if you have this. And there's like a 4-minute list. The commercial's 30 seconds, but they got 4 minutes of disclaimer saying that if you take this drug, you'll go blind, your pecker will fall off, you lose all your hair, your ears will turn inside out, your breasts will grow. If you got breasts, they'll shrink. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. The what is the word that I'm looking for? The effects, the after effects of what these medicines that help us do to you. You have to take one medicine to counteract the one. With cannabis, you take some cannabis. You don't have to take no heroin to counteract the reaction of the cannabis. You know what I'm saying? It's disgusting.
If the public buys into their deal, I mean, Big Pharma has a big pipeline of pills for you for the next, I don't know how many years.
Yeah.
And they're going to solve all your problems. But
which brings me to my next question, Haydon. Big Pharma. What do you think about their involvement? Do you think they should get involved? Do you think we should have, Big Pharma producing canna joints or whatever they would call it, and putting it out? Or is it going to just be, and big tobacco for that matter? Yeah. Is it just going to be another form of a cigarette with all those chemicals and crap that's in it? I mean...
it's hard to say where it'll go, because the first thing that people need to do is they need to get away from the reefer madness misunderstanding of it. They've been brainwashed, so the public has to be in a position where they drive the industry based on what they know about patients or themselves or their families, or they need to be educated and
not misled.
That's right. And it's pretty much available. You could talk to somebody who's used marijuana. Occasionally you'll run across somebody who says, oh, I used it in college, I didn't get anything from it, and all this and that. Well, those cannabinoid receptors have to grow in. So your first couple of 3 experiences may not even be something that you can relate to, because that hasn't happened yet.
They haven't developed.
That's what I understand anyway. I'm not an expert.
That's amazing.
But the big thing I want to do, of course, from my own personal standpoint, is first off, I want to be legal right now I'm subject to being caught for less than 20 grams, and I'm going to get a year in prison. I'm going to get a $1,000 fine, and I'm going to get 2 years loss of my license.
Right, which is what we're facing.
Yeah. Now, I went to the sheriff's department the other day, and I said, well, how many people did you bust for cohabitation and adultery? And they went and looked it up in the record. They got a computer.
None.
None.
But it's illegal here in Florida.
That'll get you 6 months in prison, and it'll also get you a $500 fine, or both. Now, how come you guys didn't do it? Y'all picking on the marijuana guys, right?
Right. There's more money in it.
To being caught for less than 20 grams, and I'm going to get a year in prison. I'm going to get a $1,000 fine, and I'm going to get 2 years loss of my license.
Right. Which is what we're facing.
Yeah. Now, I went to the sheriff's department the other day, and I said, well, how many people did you bust for cohabitation and adultery? And they went and looked it up in the record. They got a computer.
None.
None.
But it's illegal here in Florida.
That'll get you 6 months in prison, and it'll also get you a $500 fine, or both. Now, how come you guys didn't do it? Y'all picking on the marijuana guys, right?
Right. There's more money in it.
So, what typically would happen to me is they'd say, Mr. Fauke, you've not been, a real hardened criminal in your life. You spent 8 years in the Army, serving the country.
Thank you.
And you built a business out of $600. You built a multi-million-dollar business while you were using marijuana, maybe. But that provided a lot of good people, a lot of good jobs, and it provided a lot of good services to the customers that we sold it to. That was over 35 years. And you don't seem to have anything on your record now, except you're, an activist who is vocal about something. And we're not going to hold that against you because you're a sick old man at the same time.
Yeah. Oh,
but
thanks for feeling sorry for me.
Yeah, we're going to be lenient on you this first offense. So I'm going to give you 6 months probation. Now, I want you to pay a $500 fine, and I want you to pay $355 for court costs.
Plus $50 a month probation fee.
Yeah, they're gonna send me for an evaluation to see how addicted I am to marijuana, and that's going to cost me another $75. And then they're going to give me a probation officer, and I got to report into him whenever he wants me to. And every
he can
time
come to your house when he wants.
He's going to give me a P test, and that's going to cost me $35 to $50 every time.
Yep. Yeah.
During this period of 6 months, I've got to probably expect that these guys are going to be at my house. No warrant, no nothing, except we have the right to search your house.
Yep.
Anytime in that 6 months. Now, we want you to do 50 hours of community service also.
Yeah.
So, if you're employed, this takes you away from your employment, like free 50 hours that you're given. So, you're hardly making it now,
Yeah. Yep. And it's pennies towards the hours.
Yeah. They want you to have no alcohol in your house. They want you to have. You can't go to a bar that's got any alcohol. Your friends can't bring any alcohol to your house. In the process, you might lose your job. You could lose your kids. You might lose your scholarship if you're a college student.
Yeah.
And you better not violate, or we're going to really come down hard on you.
Yep.
Now, does this scare anybody? It doesn't scare me. It doesn't scare anybody else out there. There's 525 million users around the world that wouldn't be wasting their money on something that didn't add some quality of life benefit to their situation.
Yep.
And they're going to scare us here with this? They're not going to scare you.
Whatever happened.
What they're doing is they're feather bedding another funding cost. So these probation officers and all these people, I've seen the stack of paperwork there. It comes printed both sides and in different colors. I don't know who files it all away, but I can tell you they must have several full-time jobs built on just filing the paperwork away.
Enough said. Enough said.
So, is Governor Rick Scott gonna lose some of his drug testing funds that he gets? That's one of the things that I understand he's involved in and invested in. Yeah, he's going to lose some of that. So anyway, I want to be legal, and I want to also be buying medical marijuana. I don't want to keep scoring something off the street. Sooner or later, I'm going to get something that's got some mold or spores in it or
something that's
pesticides or something like that. I want it to be inspected. I want it to be a clean-cut deal, and I want to know what I'm getting.
Yep.
I want to be paying less money than what I have to pay for now.
Sure. Which does not seem to be the case out west.
It's, in my case, my little dose that I make from the brownie mix, I make 64 little brownie squares, and I only take one a day around 4:20 in the afternoon.
Nice.
That little brownie, convenient. Yeah, that little brownie cost me $1.33 to make.
Which is awesome.
Which is pretty cheap compared to that Marinol now that would cost me $1,200.
Right, and you break that down. What do they give you to the pill? How many pills they give you? It's just, and you're not even getting, when you make your brownies, and compared to the Marinol, you're getting a chemical compared to the real deal.
Yeah, and I can assure you, I was a college fraternity member. I have been drinking alcohol a lot of my life, and I would never go back to alcohol.
Yeah, I never was a
Marijuana
drinker.
is a much more fun, happy thing to do. If you want to bring out or lose a little of your inhibitions and make yourself more social or whatever you drink alcohol for, I consider that medical also because you're drinking it for something.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
You're right.
I consider all marijuana to be medical. I mean, I consider alcohol to be medical too.
Think of the relationships. Okay, just put it to you this way. Think of, and I know how guys are, it takes a lot to get up the nerve to go and talk to a woman. Think of all of those relationships that never would have been if the guy didn't do a little rootsy-tootski before he went over, got up the nerve, and talked to this chick. I heard it in a movie one day, okay? Rootsky-tootski, he said. I don't remember what it was. I'll think of the movie and post it.
But they've got about 1,000.
I call it can of courage.
Yeah. Well, you'll definitely be more social under marijuana than you will be under alcohol.
Oh, certainly.
I mean,
I can't stand a drunk. I really
can't. There's a point at where you can be fun, but when you cross that line...
Yeah. The old I love you man starts coming out, the touchy-feeliness, and then the sloppy fall down. Yeah, I can't.
But what else it'll do for me is that it will give me the ability to get edibles. Edibles are my favorite way of, and there's times when you need to smoke it. If you have a headache, you can get rid of a headache by hitting a joint a couple of times.
Yeah.
That's a good way to do it. People who have migraine headaches, and very debilitating, they lay there in the fetal position, cry all day on their bed.
Yep.
And
I just went to the hospital last month because of one of those. What do they call there's a name for them migraines, they call them. I call them a migraine. But anyway, I just went to the hospital, and the best they could do for me was morphine. Don't get me wrong.
Wow. Well,
Don't
morphine's a poison.
knock the shit out of that headache.
Yeah, that's a pain suppressor. When you get to the point where you're sitting in a hospice condition and the pain is so terribly bad, morphine is the answer that they give you. And but that's poison. That's going to kill you in 3 to 5 days, and we're just but you won't be in pain.
No,
No,
that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's one thing. That drives me crazy. If you think about it. Think about whenever you do go to the hospital, okay, and they put all of that stuff into you. We're going to give you this. Oh, we're going to give you that. Oh, we're going to give you this. Oh, we're going to give you that. Somebody that we were talking to the other day had made a statement. Doctors practice. Keyword, practice. They don't know everything. They don't know what they're doing. So let's try this. Let's try that. We don't know what it's doing to our bodies. We don't know the effects. We do know the addiction rates, and like you said, that it's poison. It'll kill you. With cannabis, it's gone back, 3,000 years? What is it, 3,000 BC, I mean? It's gone all the way back, like you said when you first got on the show, you take, let's say, weight-wise, we'll talk in weight. Let's say you take a gram of morphine, and you take a gram of weed. Guess what? A gram of morphine's going to kill your ass. You're dead. Gram of weed's going to make you hungry, make you a little tired, even make you want to go out and mow the lawn, maybe.
Well, the pharmaceuticals they've already patented one of the 80
cannabinoids.
I'm wearing myself saying that word this morning. You can say it two ways. It's cannabinoid or cannabinoid.
Cannabinoid.
So I say it about halfway.
Both of them.
One way and then halfway another. And
it's that word association.
Stick in the middle sometimes, yeah. But there are about 1,000 hybrids now out there, and you can buy them where if you were having to deal with anxiety, you might buy one over here that you dealt with if you have stress. They've got it down to that point where Alzheimer's and MS and ALS and Parkinson's, they're different strains, different hybrids. That are already out there, but we can't get any of that stuff.
Yeah,
and that's unfortunate. But the edibles come in everything from focus pills to soft drinks, popcorn,
it's amazing.
Dorito chips, any sort of candy, cookie, whatever. And some of them work by spraying like a breath spray that goes in your mouth, instantly absorbed.
Nice.
When you smoke it, it only takes about 6 seconds for it to start working.
Yeah.
But if you suck on something like a little caramel or a little piece of candy, then it'll start working in about 10 minutes. And whereas if you eat it, now it might take an hour to an hour and a half to
really
start the effect. Yeah.
No kidding.
But it'll last longer. So you might have 5 to 6 hour scenario
as opposed to maybe 2-3 hours. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. We got about 45 minutes of the show. We'll take a little break, and we'll be right back. I'm gonna throw up my catch-all song always. I got my one song that's the catch-all, and we're gonna put that up, and we'll play some music here if I can find the damn thing. System's big, folks. Bear with me. I do have a couple commercials I can put up real quick, but you're listening to Talk Shit Radio, and we'll be right back.
Let me ask you a question. Are you getting enough? I bet you'd love more, right? Well, AdamandEve.com wants to give you more with 10 free gifts. First, you'll get a sexy surprise for her. Second, a specially selected toy for him. And third, a little something we know you'll both enjoy. Plus, you'll get 6 full-length adult movies on DVD. And number 10, free shipping on your entire order. So what do you have to do to get your 10 free gifts? It's not hard. Just go to AdamandEve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy, sexy piece of lingerie, or anything you desire. Just enter offer code GIFT13 at checkout, and you'll get all 10 free gifts. Go check out AdamandEve.com today. Select one item and get 10 free gifts, including free shipping, when you enter offer code GIFT13. That's GIFT 13 at AdamandEve.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-441-3678 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-441-3678 to take your call now. Call 1-800-441-3678. That's 1-800-441-3678. Again, 1-800-441-3678.
Hey, you're listening to Talk Shit Radio. We'll be back.
No college degree and mid-career? Make the choice that can make a difference this year with an ITT Technical Institute near you. At ITT Tech, we offer programs of study in fields including information technology, electronics technology, drafting and design, business, criminal justice, nursing, and the growing field of health sciences. And now, ITT Tech is helping reduce the cost of education with a new ITT Tech Opportunity Scholarship. The scholarship can help lower your education costs dramatically. We've always believed believe pursuing an education is a sound investment. And now, with the ITT Tech Scholarship, education could be in your future. To find out more about the Opportunity Scholarship at ITT Tech for yourself, just call 800-771-0443. That's 800-771-0443. With the ITT Tech Opportunity Scholarship. Now, it's your turn. 800-771-0443. How are we doing? For more information about graduation rates, the median data of students who completed the program, please visit programinfo.itt-tech.edu.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to Talk Shoot Radio. We needed to take a quick little break. I had to get some messages up. Everybody had to grab a drink and go to a little men's and ladies' room. So we'll be right back. Just stick with us. So you're going to listen to Little Pink Floyd, and then we'll come back into it. Thanks for listening, everyone. We've got Haydon Fauke.
shone like the sun. Shine on, you crazy diamond. Now there's a look in your eyes, like black holes in the sky. Shine on, you crazy diamond. You were caught in the crossfire of childhood stardom, blown on the steel breeze. Come on, you target for faraway laughter. Come on, you stranger, you legend, you martyr, and shine. You reached for the secret too soon. You cried for the moon. Shine on, you crazy diamond. Threatened by shadows at night and exposed in the light. Shine on, you crazy diamond. Well, you wore out your welcome with random precision. Rode on the steel breeze. Come on, you waver, you see your visions. Come on, you painter, you piper, you presser, and
Johnny says, what, few hours for break? We're back, buddy. We're back. Go easy on me. My biggest critic is my best friend, John. All right, so here, I'll even do the pretty little to officially say we're back now. That's my buddy John that I was telling you about. Him and I grew up together. Yeah, he's my biggest critic. We are back on the air with Haydon and Dr. Hiccup. Hiccup, you want to say hello?
Hello, everybody.
Well, you got to say it in the microphone.
Good morning.
That's Dr. Hiccup, and the reason I call her Dr. Hiccup is she cured me of about a 2-week episode of hiccups that I could not get rid of.
Yes.
And I looked at her like she had 3 foreheads.
3 boobs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I looked at her like the 3-boob chick, like, is this one crazy or what? But sure enough, I did it, and they were gone. Gone. And I haven't had them since. Knock on wood. Hold on. Ready?
And you know what to do when you get them again. Just call Dr. Hiccup.
That's it. That's it. So we're back with Haydon. Haydon, say your last name again so I don't butcher it. Fauke. Okay, Fauke. That's right. And it helps if I turn your mic up as well. Then I was butchering it all week, and I apologize for that. So phone lines are coming up, folks, and I want to hear from anybody and everybody. Give me about 2 seconds to hit the button here and bring them up. The phone number is 352-556-1321. That is our on-air number. You can give us a call. Just I'll tell you when. Not yet. Not yet. And you can call up and talk live on the air with Haydon and Dr. Hiccup. We got about 30 minutes left, and I'd like to use it up with any questions from you guys. Johnny, please, if you have any questions, Old Wise Man, if you're there, Daisy, anybody who's listening who's not in the chat, you guys have any questions, again, the phone number is 352-556-1321, and there's a direct link on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/TalkShitTV show, or you can go to www.talkshitradionetwork.com and check us out. There's a live feed on there as well. Phone lines are coming up. Again, that's 352-556-1321. You'll be able to talk to Haydon Fauke live. And here we go. Ready? And she's on. So anybody wants to call in, please do so now. Phone lines are open, 352-556-1321. We'd love to hear from you. talk to Haydon live, ask him some questions, and maybe you get some advice and learn something here. So, Haydon, this vote that's coming up, where do you think we're at with it? You think we got a good chance? I know support has been, they, and again, I always question they, and whoever doesn't question they is a sheep. How do you think we're doing?
Well, from the very beginning, back in the days when the percentages in favor were about 82 to 83%, and the percentages still run high. That doctors and nurses somewhere above 80%, and that's the whole crux of the thing, is that all it's doing is giving doctors another option to discuss an alternative to a situation they're using now, which is probably from a big pharmaceutical company.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's just another outlet, yes.
Yeah, this represents, as we were talking about, maybe us being the third largest potential user of marijuana, we're talking big dollars. So the Senate and the House of Florida had for 3 years medical marijuana bills introduced into them. They were put in committees, and the committee chairman never has to bring them up for discussion, and that's exactly what he didn't do. Now, why wouldn't you do that? Well, your party told you not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And in both cases, the Democrats and the Republicans, the two major parties, they get money from lobbyists of special interest. That money goes into their coffers, and then they handpick people who couldn't get elected otherwise unless they were on a party ticket or unless they had the money to do so, and those guys get elected.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've got the special interest, and they don't do this on every bill, but when this marijuana thing came up, there's so much money at risk that those special interests are calling the favor. And I had a lobbyist explain this whole thing to me, a guy that was more in favor of what I was doing than the company that he was supposed to be representing. But in the case of what's happened, we're had to go out and get almost 700,000 signatures.
Just to get it on the ballot,
just
correct?
To get it on the,
yep.
And that's the only way that there was to do it.
Right.
Because the legislature didn't do their job as they should have. They should have discussed it. They know what's going on in all these 23 other states. They're not
Mm-hmm.
stupid.
Right.
And so they said, no, we're going to follow the party ticket dictating this. And it's right from the top. I have letters from Bill Nelson and Rubio and Nugent and both my senator and my senator told me, no, I can't sponsor one of those bills. You know, I'm a good Republican.
What does that mean?
Yeah, well, that means that you're ignorant of wanting to help the patients. And this whole thing started off patients.
Mm-hmm.
So back when these numbers were running real high in favor of this.
And excuse me for 1 second, Haydon, please, key word, everyone, patience. This is no longer about hanging out and getting stoned and partying with your friends. This is about helping people. Michael Minardi said it in a speech that he gave me right here in this studio. It's about helping patients. It's about patients between their doctor making a choice. Go ahead.
And this was several months back, and this was all about everybody who had a family member and everybody who's seen what's going on in the rest of the world. They said, yeah, this is a good thing. So your percentage of being in favor of Amendment 2 was as high as 80%. Most of the states that have passed it, where they've given the people the choice, it runs around 65 to 70%.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we have to deal with a situation where your special interest and the Republican Party, or the special interest, got Pam Bondi, our Attorney General, to file a lawsuit claiming that the amendment was too loosely written and everybody was going to end up using it and all of this other. And Pam Bondi got both the House and Senate leaders to join her in this lawsuit, a desperate thing that went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court shut them down and said, no, there's nothing wrong with the amendment. It was written properly, and it's going to go forth. And so it did. It's on the ballot. Now, at this point, and it's always been one of the patients, it was ours to lose. And so we've been trying to get our message out. It's not all about John Morgan and United for Care being some company that's going to end up controlling all of the marijuana dispensaries in
Which
the
again,
state.
right,
And
yes.
John Morgan is a slick lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
But he's good at it, very good at it. But his story about his dad and his brother, those are all true stories. He's not doing this for the money in it. He's doing this to help people. I truly believe that. I've been around him enough to know.
You can just hear the difference.
Listen, I was a salesman, and I can see when a person's lying or not lying, and he's not lying. And I've sat.
If he's trying to sell it or not, he's not trying to sell it. Yeah, yeah, I agree.
And so, but now, these political parties are having to pony up for the special interest, and the special interests are filtering in with all of their stuff, and who has to lose? Well, first off, the pharmaceutical companies have to lose big time, big time. The alcohol industry has to lose big time. They even have concert-sized parties, things going on out in Denver. They don't even let you bring any alcohol in, nor do they sell the alcohol.
Sure.
But they're having a ball.
That's not to mention the funding that the law enforcement will lose from seizures and this and that.
Law enforcement funding will be drastically cut if we're smart. The court, the drug courts, and the punishment funds, whether it's putting somebody through a prison system, and there's tons of people in prison right now that are working at $2.10 an hour, making some wiring harness for Martin Marietta.
And then having to pay $20 a day back to the system for being there.
Yep, and Martin Marietta is going to pay $20,000 or $5,000 to the prison that they just made this. It's a
lot of political corruption.
Let me tell you, there's a lot of money and there's a lot of feather betting that is occurring, and that marijuana causes a lot of people to have a lot of jobs. Well, that's okay, but let them go out and do something else in the medical marijuana field. If they want to go clip buds, that's fine.
Sure.
Rather than be a probation officer for some marijuana user. But your doctors, the American Medical whatever of Florida says that.
The AMA.
Let me tell you, you look at who that is. Those are your doctors they're part of the whole system too. The pharmaceutical company is in the loop. The doctors are in the loop. And their retailers are in the loop.
Absolutely.
And they're looking to sell you as many as they can, as much as they can. And some of those doctors, they keep up with how much they prescribe, and they get kickbacks.
One of our first guests was a woman who wrote a book, Big Farm, Big Agra, Big Conspiracy is the name of her book. And it was all about Monsanto and all the things that are going on in pharmaceutical. And I had asked her this exact same question. What do you think about Big Pharma's stake that they want to claim in medical cannabis? And she says it goes all back to that, the corruption, that the legal corruption that goes on all the way down from the big pharmaceutical company down to the lonely little doctor who has his practice, again, that word practice, you want to sell this amount of drugs? Hey, come to this vacation here and we'll tell you some more drugs. And here, you want to go to Aruba? Here's a free trip to Aruba. Come learn about some more drugs we got here. And political corruption, financial gain. That's what it's been about.
Yep, they take them, they and their wives will go to Hawaii for 4 or 5 nights, all picked up expenses.
That's what I'm afraid
of.
of.
They're there give a 10-minute presentation at the symposium or whatever they call it, and we'll give you another $1,500.
Haydon, we got somebody calling in. Let's see who it is. If I can find the button. Hey, this is Lewis. You're live on Talk Shit Radio. What's up? Who are we talking to?
This is Kara.
Kara, how are you?
Kara. I'm good. How are you?
It's been a while.
Yes. It's been very busy.
Yeah, I could imagine. I can imagine. We have some of your favorite people in the studio with us today.
I know. How is Haydon doing? I haven't been able to listen. My computer's defragging forever.
Uh-oh.
I'm chatting right away. Quite chatty.
Yeah, we love having them. It's very informational here. What's going on with you, Florida Angels of Mercy?
Well, I'm getting ready for tax time because I'm also an accountant.
Oh, boy.
And
Fun.
just been out talking to people,
Good deal.
trying to answer their questions, you know, get them comfortable with their decision. And, you know, it's not just about Amendment 2. We've been talking about some of the politicians and, you know, how the voting for them will help the cause or you know, promote the cause. Who's for our cause, I should say.
Everybody should be. What do you think, Haydon?
You know, I don't know how, if by chance this doesn't pass, and there'll be reasons why it doesn't. There's a lot of money being put in it right now. The guys that stand to gain from it, if it doesn't pass, pharmaceutical companies, alcohol companies, all of those doctors and psychiatrists and pain management guys, the law enforcement funds, the court and punishment funds, the drug cartels and dealers, they all stand to gain.
Yep.
The retailers selling the drugs and alcohol, the politicians who are going to, you know, say, well, that was the will of the people, and in reality, the next step would be to throw them out and get some people in there that really know. And sadly, you know, some of those, like the couple of shareholders with Publix, you know, put a lot of money in, $500,000 to try to block something
against
and
it.
yet
Yeah.
Publix, being somebody who would stand to lose, you know, and they already sell alcohol, drugs, tobacco, all the added sugar you shouldn't put in your body.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad to see people that would throw the patients under the bus for a little bit of money.
Yeah.
And especially a guy by the name of Sheldon Adelson. You know who he is? Well, he's
Old wise man. Had
81
mentioned
years
his name.
old,
Yes.
and you know, he made his money the hard way. But why at 81 years old, and you're the 12th richest man in America with about $32 billion, why would you at this point take an interest in stopping medical marijuana in Florida?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So the guy, that's the main contributor to stopping marijuana in Florida. Most people speculate because if he can impress Rick Scott by doing that, again, Scott, remember, gets the drug testing money.
Yep.
But Scott may give him a casino in Florida. Now, he owns the Sands Corporation, Casino Corporation, which has it's the largest casino corporation in the world. So, is that true? Would a guy 81 years old for a few more bucks deprive all of the patients in Florida who need this product legally? And
Kara and I had discussed that.
I'll tell you, if our world has come to that, then there's something awful wrong with it.
Kira, I remember talking to you about, you know, some of the things that frustrated me with the people that are only in this for the financial gain of it. But then we had also talked about those of us who gain financially from it not even knowing, because think about it. And we spoke about this on the air, Kara, many times. Let's think about taxation of it, okay? Let's think about, what was it, $1.9 million in the first month in Colorado of taxation. Our highway system's broke here in Florida, but yet they're building like a son of a bitch. Our school systems, I'm sorry to say it, but they suck here in Florida. But yet we have the lowest paid teachers. The reason is we have low wages for our teachers. There's just so much that we could benefit, and not even from a patient standpoint of view, because I've looked at it both sides. You know, even as those, even being a patient and looking at it financially, well, there's money for treatment for you as a patient that the state can help you with, and I mean. We've talked about
and part of the economics of it, that a ripple effect. Once the patients get healthy, such as myself, I can work when I'm medicated.
Pay it forward.
I can't work, so I'm a burden to society. So it's so far beyond taxation. It's so far beyond, the economics of it are beyond our visual comprehension, I believe.
Yep.
And I think that's pretty evident by Colorado and California and Washington. And, the other 23 states, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, it's the economics are so far beyond just what you imagine in the first place with the taxation in the schools. It's, you know, and I've said this before, this plant can fix the world.
We were just saying.
Not only in the economics, but in the environmental.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, that's right. I had just heard, she said, key word, bing, 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 light bulbs just went off. Where Chernobyl. Look what they've done with hemp. They planted it all over the place. It's absorbing radiation out of the ground, cleaning the ground, making it maybe not a livable place again for us, but for animal inhabitants, you know, for the earth to take it back. What else have they done? What is that? The hemp for water.
Yeah, hemp is a cousin to marijuana. It's a cannabis plant, and it grows differently. It grows like bamboo almost. It's
see, I know nothing about it. Yeah,
22 feet tall. It doesn't take any pesticides, very little water. They really look at big potential area to grow it down below Orlando south, because they feel like they can get the most yield out of it,
like sugar cane.
But it breathes twice as good as cotton, so you could have a textile market for it. It only takes 1 acre of hemp to produce the same amount of paper that it takes 4.1 acres of timber to produce, and it is actually 10 times as good as corn at making ethanol if you want to make a fuel for it. And
it's not as invasive to the soil.
Yep, they use it in all sorts of remediation type stuff. And that is true about Chernobyl. It's one thing they're doing over there. My understanding is that Florida is the largest importer of hemp of not only any state in the union, but also in the world.
Really?
And yet we have a law against it, growing it. So, yeah, they use it in concrete. It has about 1/8 of the weight of concrete, but yet it's much stronger.
Sure.
And it breathes. It doesn't mold.
Yeah. Are these special interests that are holding that back? Probably.
Absolutely. You know? Because they stand to lose money. I have an interesting question in the chat, Haydon, and it goes back to your situation from Old Wise Man. And it's basically, you know, he's asking now your medical use of it. We had mentioned that you just and for anybody who's wondering, I'll put the link up, because you were just on Bay News 9 discussing this on Bay News 9, how you use the cannabis as your medicine.
Right.
You basically grind it up, correct, and make brownies out of it.
Yep. I usually get a box of Pillsbury no added sugar budget brownie mix. Costs you about $3. You may have to ask your store if they don't carry it. Because cancer feeds off of sugar. It metabolizes sugar to stay alive after it disconnects from your respiratory system.
Yep.
And so any cancer patient should never be eating any sugar, added sugar.
And this is something I never knew.
Yeah. So we I get a box of that brownie mix. I take about 1/8 of an ounce of good bud weed, not stems and stalks and leaves, but good bud. And I put that in a little NutriBullet or any other little grinder. I use a NutriBullet, and I take 1/3 cup of oil and about 3 tablespoons of water and an egg, and I just blend it all together and stick it in the oven for 30 minutes. And I've got a pan of brownies, and I cut those into little squares, and I ended up with 64 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so.
And you do one a day, correct?
I do one a day. Yep.
Absolutely.
That's all I need to do. And I don't really have a tremendous appetite in the morning or at lunch, but I do make myself eat, and I have enough of an appetite that I do eat.
Gotcha.
So there's probably some carryover of value there. Marijuana stores itself in your system for 30 days, they say. I think part of it gets stored in my arousal zone. It's in the stem. Yeah, it's in your
goes
brain.
Right to your libido.
It's in your brain stem. Yeah, I think mine all builds up there.
There's Haydon.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, I think.
Hey, that's a great side effect though. Marijuana has some cool side effects, and that's one of them.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. There you go. Old wise man, there's an answer to that question right there. Anybody else got any other questions? Kira, I did want to get to you real quick because we only got about 10 minutes left of this show. I want to thank you for calling in and ask you how are things going. How's Dahlia?
Dahlia's great. I believe they are coming home from California today.
Cool.
Have you been watching that?
Nah, I got so much going on that I'm lucky I remember my name. If it wasn't for the fact that it's written down on a bunch of things in front of me, I'd probably forget it.
Well, the Canna Moms and Canna Kids went to California and have been out in Harborside with Steve D'Angelo. They are California medical patients and caregivers legally now. And they're coming back. Brandon is on the cannabis oil, and from what I understand yesterday, for what I understood by the way what she wrote is he hasn't had seizures since they got the adjustments made to the cannabis oil.
Gotcha.
So he's doing really well, and they're coming back. This is the way I understand it, but I'm not sure. I haven't had a chance to talk to him personally. Christina's out there with Annalise. There's Brandon and Renee and Jacqueline and Bruno and, of course, Dahlia.
Nice. That's awesome.
And Mariah.
Good deal.
So they were out there learning about the endocannabinoid system and how the different, molecules, the THC, A's and stuff, work with the seizures versus the cancer patients. So they went out and got even more educated, if you can imagine.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. I'm sorry I was spaced out there for a second. I was reading.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So they'll come back with all that knowledge and and be even more, stronger to help other parents and kids and help educate those in Florida. It's, I can't express enough in the last 2 years how many times I've repeated the same things over and over.
Yeah.
And I'm still, we were pounded with the reefer madness, and it's so ingrained in us.
Yeah, absolutely.
If this doesn't pass, this won't be the end. None of us will ever give up.
It's not going to make it easy. I've talked to multiple people about it. It's going to be damaging, but it will not stop anyone. That is for sure.
No.
But Kira, thank you for calling in. We've got about 8 minutes left. I want to, end the show with Haydon and Denise here, Dr. Hiccup, a.k.a., and I appreciate you calling in, and let me hear from you again. Let's get you back on, or come on down. Let's sit here and have you in the studio.
Well, yeah, I think after November 4th, things will calm down.
Yes, I'm sure.
That, but
if they don't, well, I don't know. They might not.
Thank you for making that video of the event. That was
no
incredible.
sweat. I wish I could have actually shot some more of it, but after a certain time, I was starting to have a little trouble holding the camera straight, and it got a little, heavy, and so I had to go sit down. So anyway, in other news, as we say here on Talk Shit Radio. All right,
you
Kira.
have a great day, and I will talk to you soon for sure.
Thank you very much for calling in.
Thank you.
Bye. That's funny. Oopsie. Yeah, so like I said, the video would have been longer and I would have got more. I got your whole speech. Yeah, the whole thing, start to finish. But
you got that off me, didn't you?
no, I got the whole thing. I shot it. Yeah. And you could see a bunch of pieces of it where the camera was sitting on the chair. And that's when it got real heavy. But Haydon, thank you so much for coming in and talking to everybody about your situation. It always seems like 3 hours is a long show, but then once we get into it, it flies right on by, and it's just like I got so much more we could talk about,
Well, Lou, thank you so much for having me. And those of you out there who, at this point in time, can still do something that would push this amendment towards the passing, I urge you to do it, because I'm in this thing for the patients. I can always get by myself.
Absolutely.
But I've learned enough over the years to understand that if there's one good thing we could be putting in our body, and there are a lot of things we shouldn't, but I do believe marijuana is universally something that benefits everyone.
I agree, and I've been saying it my whole life. Of course, back then, people took me as that little stoner kid, and, what the hell does he know? But I've always known there was always something about it that always made me feel different. I always felt that I stood out. So, and now here we are, 2014. I'm 43 years old, and I feel stronger about that now than I ever have in my whole entire life. And I was born in 1970, so there's people out there. I know Tony, he's got a few on me. Hayden, you got some catching up to do. Oh, wait, no, physically, he's still younger than me. See, I tell you what, at 76 years old, I wouldn't have known it. Wouldn't have known it. Surprised the hell out of me. Even Tony, we know why he looks so young. It's good living. It's what it takes.
Well, it's kind of real simple, and I look at it like I can't give you all the magic as to why I'm here on this earth, but I do know that I've got myself and I've got time, and I want to make myself last as long as I can. Why? Because I feel like personally that we live in heaven. I could give you a whole new story about all that, but if we don't, I'm going to live that way anyway. So what's the best thing that I could do for being here? Take care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
To make myself last longer. Because why? Because I want to enjoy another long day in heaven. So it's pretty simple to me.
Yeah.
And if I can deal with my non-curable cancer by not taking any of those big pharmaceuticals that all have all those terrible side effects to them. Some of them are totally addictive. Some of them I see people that look like they're living in hell all day long. They're zombies and they don't, have any life or,
absolutely.
Or care
the
about
living dead.
Remember that I've been going down for 6.5 years. I've been around those people.
Yeah.
Lots of them.
That's exactly why I wanted you to come on, Hayden, was to tell that story and educate people, open their eyes. People need it. A lot more people need to hear it. That's for sure.
Well, just look around, and there's plenty of people that are buying stuff that's destroying them, and it's so simple to me that if there's something out there that works, it's just like animals running outside and chewing on some grass or some weeds.
There's a reason for it.
Absolutely. Our body will do that, and we're built that way to do that.
Yep. Absolutely. Certainly. Now that you think about that, they do that because there's a sickness in their body that they need to get out. So they eat it so they can vomit. Yeah, there's a reason for it. There's a reason why that plant was put on this planet.
Yeah.
There's a reason for everything being on this planet. I don't care if it's to kill you or not. There's a reason for it. Natural selection is what it is.
Well, the pharmaceutical industry uses somewhere between 6,000 and 7,000 plants in their products.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
this is just another one to add to that collection.
And you could use an aloe vera plant for sunburn, but many people go and they buy some kind of green glue in a bottle.
Yeah,
that's what the pharmaceutical industry would like for you to think is going to be happening with marijuana.
Welcome to Florida, folks, because it grows wild. Aloe vera grows wild around here. So I mean, I saw a post one day, and I'll kind of try to end the show on this note. Drop buds, not bombs. And then there was a picture of a B-52 with the bomb bays open and big giant buds falling out of it. You want to solve world hunger? Smoke some buds. You'll get hungry.
Yeah. Well, that's...
You can eat it. It's a nutritional source. It has value.
The president down in Uruguay is legalizing it there for the citizens of the country, and he thinks that it's going to bring a world peace. And he might be right. The Pakistan is going to reintroduce it to the Muslim world through medical marijuana, and they may pick it up again, and we all may sit down and smoke a joint and figure all the problems out without killing each other.
It'll definitely calm a lot of people down.
It will, for sure.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Again, Hayden, thank you so much for coming in, taking the time. I know it's a little bit of a trek for you to get down here,
no
and
big
it's
deal. Thanks a lot for having me.
No, anytime, open mic for you. You coming down this way, you want to stop in. Stop in. If we ain't on air, I'll go on air.
Thank you.
Denise, a.k.a. Dr. Hiccup, I want to thank you for bringing Haydon and making this possible for us, putting it all together with my wife, and curing my hiccups.
Absolutely.
Because I'd still be hiccuping away if it wasn't for you telling me to drink upside down. And I swear to you people, I'm going to make a video and show you how it worked. But we got about 10 seconds left. Again, thank you, and vote yes on 2, everyone. Please, don't forget it. Yes. Talk Shit Radio, and we're out. Thank you very much, guys, and have a good day.